Hey, what is up, fellow raiders? This is Vulcan Dan, and in today's Raid Shadow Legends video, we are going to talk about the Revenge accessory. You can find it in the clan shop here at slot number 5. Do not buy this one in slot number 3, which is a 4 to 5 star. Always get the one with 5 to 6 star. Alright, so of course, here we are in the clan shop. Of course, you can get clan gold to buy these items from completing clan quest and also competing in the clan versus clan tournaments. Now remember, in the clan shop, I only advise you to buy these champion fragments for Yannicka, and sometimes in this slot number 2 you do get some energy, so that is also quite good. Do not buy the silver, do not buy this rank 3 chicken, do not buy the skill tome as well. Those are not worth it. The Revenge accessory is the only other thing other than the Yannicka fragments and the energy that is worth it, in my opinion. Alright, so what is the Revenge accessory? It gives you a 5% chance to counterattack when hit. It may not seem a lot, but it can come in clutch, and it's also especially useful in those long fights, especially if you're free to play or you're just starting out in the game, and of course your battles might take quite a long time. So having a Revenge accessory will definitely help you out. Alright, so let's take a look at the champions that will benefit the most from the Revenge accessory. So of course, for you to activate that counterattack, you have to be hit first. And what better debuff to use to get hit? It's of course the provoke debuff. So if you have an AoE provoke champion, that would come in handy so that they would benefit more from those counterattacks. So we have this Burgoth the Malformed, an epic Knights Revenant champion. He has this AoE provoke on his A2, so whenever he gets attacked, he will have the chance to counterattack if he's wearing the Revenge accessory, and he will get attacked a lot because of this AoE provoke, and he will heal himself every time he does that. Alright, so that is one very useful A1 to keep himself alive. Alright, let's take a look at some other AoE attack champions. Let's go to Bannerlords, a highly underrated epic champion, Giscard. Yeah, he has this AoE provoke on his A2, 75% chance, and of course if that counterattack procs, he will attack with this A1 and land that decreased attack. So yeah, so another useful champion for the Revenge accessory. Do not use the Revenge accessory on champions such as Rockbreaker, because on his A2 he does have that AoE provoke and it's at 100%, so it's one of the best AoE provoke chances in the whole game, but he already places counterattack on himself. Now if you have a counterattack buff and then you have the Revenge accessory, he will not counterattack twice, he will only do it once. Alright, so just remember that. So if you have a counterattack buff and a Revenge accessory, those will not stack on top of each other. So Rockbreaker, probably not the best champion to use a Revenge accessory on. Another one is Visix. Also not a good idea to use Revenge accessory on Visix, even though she does have this AoE provoke, which is 100% chance 3-turn cooldown on her A3, which is an excellent skill. So if you do put the Revenge accessory on her, she has a 5% chance to counterattack with this A1, which will decrease the target's turn meter by 15% for 2 hits, so that's 30%. But when you get hit by that champion's turn meter will already be reset and will be back to 0. So you're technically reducing something that is already at 0, so it will stay at 0. And you will this A1 is also supposed to steal some of that turn meter to give to Visix, but of course since you are not reducing any turn meter from that enemy champion, you will also not benefit from any turn meter increase on Visix herself. So yeah, so Visix not a good champion to use the Revenge accessory on, because remember, the enemy's turn meter is already at 0 and you cannot manipulate it any lower than that. Alright, so let's take a look at some other champions. Also, do not use Revenge accessories on someone like Allure, because it's similar to Visix. She has this decreased turn meter by 25% on each critical hit on a 3-hitter, so that's 75%. Quite good, but again, if Allure gets hit and the Revenge accessory procs, she will use her A1, but again, the enemy's turn meter is already at 0. Now you can use this for the Fire Knight if you want this triple hitter, which whenever the Fire Knight will attack you, you will get that shield up, and you want to reduce that shield back down to 0. And of course, having counterattack would help. So you will benefit from this 3-hitter on that shield, but you will not gain anything from this decreased turn meter because the Fire Knight's turn meter is again already at 0 during that time. All right, another champion. Let's go to Skinwalker. All right, so we have Fane right here. Similar concept. She has this A1 that attacks twice. Each hit has a 35% chance. 50% when Book of Stealing, 5% of the target's current turn meter. So again, do not use the Revenge accessory on someone like Fane, on someone like Allure or Visix. Alright, so let's take a look at some of the Fire Knight champions that will actually benefit from having a Revenge accessory. So we have, of course, the all-popular Coldheart. She has this 4-hitter A1. So of course, when the Fire Knight hits you, and that's 5% to counterattack procs, she will hit 4 times, which is a big reduction on that shield of the Fire Knight. All right, so Coldheart, you know, a good candidate for the Revenge accessory, especially if you're in the early game. You really need to decrease that Fire Knight's shield, and maybe you don't have an Allure or anyone else to really reduce the Fire Knight's turn meter, and you have to take on that Fire Knight shield for maybe 3, 4, or 5 times each fight. So you will have to have a consistent way to decrease those shields, and Coldheart is one of the best champions to do that for you. All right, another multi-hit A1 champion and also a starter champion is Aethel. Also good because she has this triple hitter A1 with a weaken. Also good if you use Aethel for the Fire Knight. Again, when the Fire Knight hits Aethel and she has the Revenge accessory, she has that 5% chance to hit him 3 times to get that shield down. Speaking of Aethel, which is also a good clan boss champion, using the Revenge accessory on clan boss champions is actually also a great way to deal more damage to the clan boss, especially that the clan boss is usually a long drawn out fight on many turns. So having Revenge accessory, even if it's just that 5%, and of course it will go up to 10-15% if you put more Revenge accessories on your champion, then you will get more benefit, and those tiny little damage increase from having those extra counterattacks would definitely help. You might be missing 1 million or 2 away from that top tier chest, and having those counterattacks might be the thing that gets you over and gets you that top tier chest. And if we're talking about clan boss, of course, one of the best poisoners in the game for the clan boss is of course Frozen Banshee. She is an outstanding rare. If you have her and you don't have a good poisoner, you might want to build her up to level 60 because she is that good for the clan boss. She has this double hitter A1 that has a 100% chance when Book of placing a 5% poison for 2 turns if the target is under a poison sensitivity debuff, and you should have it on the clan boss because she does have that debuff on her A3. So yeah, this is a 2 poison on a single skill. It hits twice. The thing with poison is that you can keep on stacking poison after poison on the clan boss to get a lot of damage, and poison is one of the best ways to get damage on the clan boss. So if that 5% procs and you place another 2 poisons, that can add up to a lot of damage. So having a Revenge accessory on your Frozen Banshee, I think she is actually one of the best champions in the entire game. She benefits a lot from having that extra 5% chance to counterattack. Now, if you're bringing someone like a Skull Crusher, let's take a look at him. Yeah, because he does bring this ally counterattack to the entire team, so you might use him for the clan boss fight. Remember that the counterattack will only proc once, so having this plus the revenge accessory will not really help that much. Unless, of course, you get hit by the clan boss and you don't have the counterattack on at that right time, then yeah, okay, you have that extra 5%. But it doesn't really help that much as opposed to not having Skull Crusher on your team to really maximize the revenge accessory. All right, so Frozen Banshee, of course, is one of those champions. Let's take a look at other champions for other parts of the game that can also benefit from having that extra 5% to counterattack. These are champions with AoE A1s. Of course, when a champion counterattacks, he always, well, not always, most of the time, later we'll get to one specific champion that does not use his A1. But yeah, A1 or champions with AoE A1s is very useful. It's very good to place that revenge accessory on. And of course, Bellower, the Void Rare, has one of the best A1s in the entire game. With this AoE, 20% can be booked up to a 30% chance of placing a block active skill debuff for one turn. This is one of the best A1s in the entire game for dealing with waves. Imagine if you block active skills or you place this debuff on a lot of your enemies, especially in those Doom Tower runs. This is one of the best skills in the entire game. Plus, put him in a stun set, it is going to be amazing. All right, so if you place him on having that revenge accessory, so whenever he gets hit, extra 5% chance to counterattack, and you get more stuns and you get more block active skills from Bellower. Again, an amazing, an excellent candidate for the revenge accessory. All right. And let's take a look at Shadowkin, because again, we're waiting for that Shadowkin Faction Wars. I don't know when we will get it. Hopefully by the end of this year. When is Plarium going to release Faction Wars? We already have a lot of legendaries, a lot of epics. I think we even have more epics in the Shadowkin than the, what's that, Lizardmen. What was it? Yeah, we have more epics in Shadowkin than Lizardmen. How crazy is that? Alright, but anyway, let's take a look at Sachi. Sachi has this AoE A1 with decreased accuracy. Again, place her in a stun set that would work well for her, and place her in with a revenge accessory, so whenever she gets hit, she will do her AoE A1 with that 5% chance to counterattack, placing that decreased accuracy, placing that stun if she's in a stun set. And don't forget, she has this passive that can revive whenever she kills an enemy. So yeah, so whenever she counterattacks, she hits everyone with her A1, plus you might kill someone and then revive one of your own champions. So yeah, Sachi, prepare for Faction Wars. You can put her in a revenge accessory. Also, one of my favorite champions in this game, Phoenix. He has this hard-hitting A1. It doesn't hit like a truck, it hits like 2 trucks, because he attacks the enemy once and he places an extra hit if the target has any debuffs. So he is one of my favorite champions to use in the Ice Golem, because of course, if you block revive on those ads on the Ice Golem boss, then he will no longer be able to revive them, because enemies killed by this A1 cannot be revived. So if he counterattacks, you know, that 5% procs, then he will do this hard-hitting A1, hits like 2 trucks, and that enemy, of course, cannot revive anymore. So yes, Phoenix, an excellent champion to use for the revenge accessory. All right, another one. Also, I highly recommend putting revenge accessory on this champion, which is Armina. Armina has this stun on her A1, so if you hit her, 5% chance to hit them back, and a 45% chance when booked to stun him. So he will lose a turn. Not only does your enemy lose a turn with the stun, but Armina also fills her turn meter up by 10% because she lands that stun on the enemy. So she stuns them and she gains more turn meter herself. So Armina, one of the better champions to use Revenge Accessory on. Alright, next one is one of my favorite champions because I pulled him early in this account, and that is Vrask. He is one of the better healers in this game because of his passive. He heals all allies by 10% of his max HP whenever he inflicts a critical hit. So build him with 100% crit, and you actually want to deactivate his A2. You only want him to use his A1 all of the time. His A1 fills this champion's turn meter by 20% if this attack is critical. So yeah, so whenever he hits with his A1, he fills his turn meter by a lot, and he also heals your entire team by 10% of his max HP. Now, if he counterattacks with that Revenge Accessory, he will again fill his turn meter by another 20%, and he will heal your entire team again. So you get hit, you heal more. So he will definitely keep your entire team alive because he goes fast, and this passive, you can build him with a lot of HP. So if you build him with let's say 80,000 HP, so he will heal by 8,000 each time he takes a turn. Alright, so one of the best champions to use the Revenge Accessory on. And lastly, of course, we cannot complete this list without Rorik Wormbane, the latest Fragment Summon event champion. Alright, so he will not use his A1 when he counterattacks, but he will instead use his A3. As you can see here, will always use this skill instead of the default skill when counterattacking. And this skill will attack one enemy and ignore 50% of the target's defense. So hit Rorik at your own risk, because if he's wearing a Revenge Accessory, there is a 5% chance he will hit you back with this massive hit, ignores half of your defense, and there's a good chance that this Game of Thrones character will kill you. So alright, Rorik Wormbane, he is unique in that he is the only champion in this game that will counterattack with his A3, and it's a hard-hitting A3. So yeah, I don't think anyone would dare try to hit him if he has Revenge Accessory on. Alright, so that is it for this list. I hope you found this useful. If you pulled some of the Revenge Accessories yourself from the clan shop, I hope you're getting the right factions for those so that you can put them in the right champions. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.